How to improve yourself every day, ladies and gentlemen. Every day is a blank canvas. You don't need a dramatic change. You need a small, honest step forward. Improvement doesn't come from perfection. It comes from persistence. Embrace your flaws because they are proof that you're trying. Choose growth over comfort, kindness over comparison. When life breaks you, rebuild with strength, not silence. Reflect, learn, rise. Let each sunrise remind you that you have another chance to be better than yesterday. Consistent small steps lead to growth. This simple truth is often overshadowed by our desire for big changes and quick results. In a world that glorifies instant success, we forget that real transformation happens quietly, gradually, and often invisibly. Every great achievement we admire is not built on a single moment of brilliance, but on countless small decisions, quiet efforts, and unseen struggles. The beauty of steady progress lies in its humility. It does not shout, it does not rush, it simply moves forward always. When we think about improving ourselves, we often set overwhelming goals. We imagine waking up one day suddenly full of confidence, knowledge, strength, or peace. But that's not how life works. That's not how we grow. Growth is not an event. It's a process. It's waking up 5 minutes earlier than yesterday. It's choosing to drink more water today. It's pausing before reacting in anger. It's picking up a book instead of your phone. These are not grand gestures. They are tiny wins, but when done consistently, they become powerful. The human spirit is shaped by repetition. The small habits we practice every day build the person we become. If you want to be stronger, more confident, more kind, more patient, start by doing one small thing every day that reflects that version of you. Don't underestimate the power of that single moment. One extra push-up, one kind word, one deep breath before responding. These small acts may seem insignificant, but they are seeds, and with time they bloom. Sometimes we think we must feel ready, motivated, or inspired to begin. But consistency doesn't ask for excitement, it asks for commitment. Even on days when you don't feel like trying, showing up even imperfectly is a win. You won't always see the results right away. The change may be so slow, it feels like nothing is happening. But inside, you are building resilience, discipline, and trust in yourself. You are becoming someone who keeps going. Think of a drop of water falling onto a rock. A single drop does nothing, but over time, with enough drops, the hardest stone is shaped. That is how your efforts work. They shape your mind, your body, your spirit bit by bit, day by day. And even if no one sees your quiet work, it matters. It matters because you are doing it for you. You are proving to yourself that you are worth the effort. You will fail, you will miss a day, fall back into old habits, lose your motivation, but that does not mean you have to start over. It simply means you are human. What matters is what you do next. Do not wait for the perfect moment to begin again. Begin now. Begin wherever you are with whatever strength you have. The step may be small, but it's still a step. And a step forward is always better than standing still. Improvement is not a destination. You never reach a place where you are done. That's the beauty of life. We are always unfolding, learning, discovering. The more you grow, the more you realize how much more is possible. And each small effort opens the door to the next. You don't need to see the whole path. Just take the next small step. Trust that it will lead you somewhere better. Comparison is one of the biggest enemies of growth. You see someone far ahead and you feel discouraged, but you don't know their story. You don't know how many years they have walked. Stay on your own path. Measure your progress by where you were yesterday, not by where someone else is today. You are not in competition. You are on a journey, and your only job is to keep walking. There is something beautiful in knowing that even on your worst day, you can do one small thing that makes tomorrow better. You are not powerless. You don't need to be perfect to begin. You only need to begin. Improvement is not about changing who you are. It's about becoming more of who you are meant to be, and that version of you is waiting, not at the end of some giant leap, but at the next small step you are brave enough to take. Embrace your flaws and rise stronger. These words may sound simple, but living them takes courage, deep, quiet courage that most people never speak about. We live in a world that constantly tells us to be perfect, to hide our weaknesses, to fix every imperfection before we are worthy of love, respect, or success. But the truth is, our flaws are not our failures. They are part of our humanity. They are the cracks through which our strength begins to shine. To embrace your flaws is not to settle for less. It is not about giving up or accepting defeat. It's about standing face with your reflection and saying, I see you, I accept you, and I will grow with you. There is power in that honesty. There is healing in that acceptance. When you stop running from your imperfections, you begin to see them not as enemies but as teachers. They show you where you've been hurt, where you've struggled, and where you have the potential to become something greater. Flaws tell your story. They are not shameful. They are proof that you have lived, that you have tried, that you have fallen and gotten back up. They remind you that growth is not clean or easy or predictable. Sometimes growth looks like a mess. Sometimes it looks like broken pieces being gathered slowly, patiently, with trembling hands and silent tears. But every time you choose to keep going, even when you feel broken, you are rising stronger. We all have moments when we feel like we are not enough. We look at others and think they are more talented, more beautiful, more capable. We compare our behind the scenes to their highlight reels. But the truth is, everyone carries flaws. Everyone has doubts. Everyone has moments of fear, insecurity, and self-judgment. The difference lies in how we respond to those moments. Do we let them define us, or do we use them to discover who we really are? Your scars do not make you weak. They are signs of healing. They are the result of battles fought and survived. And sometimes the most beautiful parts of you are the ones that were once broken. When you embrace your flaws, you begin to build a relationship with yourself that is grounded in compassion instead of criticism. You learn to speak to yourself not with harsh judgment, but with kindness and honesty. This self-compassion is the foundation of strength. Because once you accept yourself, you become unshakable. You are no longer waiting for approval. You are no longer afraid of being exposed. You are not trying to be someone else. You are choosing to be exactly who you are, fully and freely. That is where your true power begins, not in hiding but in being seen, not in pretending but in being real. Rising stronger means using your flaws as fuel. It means saying, yes, I have failed. Yes, I have made mistakes. Yes, I have struggled, but I am still here, and I am still rising. This mindset doesn't make life easier, but it makes you unstoppable, because you know that strength doesn't come from always winning. It comes from refusing to give up. It comes from the quiet decision to try again, to forgive yourself, to keep walking even when the road feels long and heavy. Flaws also give you the gift of empathy. When you accept your own imperfections, you become more understanding of others. You stop expecting perfection from the world around you. You learn to offer grace, to hold space, to love people not despite their flaws, but with them. You see the beauty in their vulnerability because you recognize it in yourself. This connection, this shared humanity, is what makes life meaningful. We were never meant to be perfect. We were meant to be real. We were meant to grow together, fall together, heal together. And in doing so, we become stronger, not alone, but side by side. Your flaws are not the end of your story. They are the beginning of something deeper. They push you to reflect, to change, to evolve. They challenge your pride, humble your ego, and sharpen your perspective. Every setback gives you insight. Every weakness teaches you patience. Every flaw, if you let it, leads you closer to truth. And sometimes, the most painful flaws are the ones that lead to your greatest transformation. They break you open in ways that nothing else can. They show you what matters, what you've ignored, what you need to let go of. They force you to rebuild from the ground up, stronger, wiser, more grounded. This is not failure. This is the fire that forges resilience. Do not waste your energy trying to erase what makes you human. Instead, use that energy to grow. Use it to rise. Own every scar, every struggle, every flaw. They are the fingerprints of your journey. And your journey is not something to hide, it is something to honor.